Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for making time to join this call with me today. My name is Melbong Akanam, and I'm the Media and Communications Lead at PENOP, Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria. At this point, I think I'll prefer if you introduce yourself, and then I would like to start with Ms. Idu. Please, can you introduce yourself?
So hi, my name is Idu. I call myself the Idu in the industry because sometimes when I meet people for the first time, they would have heard about me because I think I'm one of the longest people in the industry. So I'm the MD of Access Pension Fund Custodian. Prior to that, I used to be the Chief Compliance Officer in Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers. And I also was the MD of Oceanic Custodian. Prior to that, I was the head of operations in Diamond Pension, which is now the Access Pension Fund Custodian. So you can tell that I've been around the industry. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, can you please introduce yourself, Mrs. Bola?
All right, thank you. My name is Bola Ibrahim. I'm the head of investments of Pensions Limited. Before then, I've worked in the risk department. I've headed the risk department and also the internal audit and control department. I've also worked briefly as a compliance officer within operations. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. Okay, so the reason for this call is because we're having International Women's Day coming up on the 8th of March. And so we wanted to hear from the women in the industry how it is working as a woman leader in the pension sector. So we have a couple of questions to be going into shortly, but first, let me just briefly summarize what International Women's Day is all about. So the International Women's Day is a global and annual celebration of women's achievements. As we know, women, they like to see us as the weaker versus the second to men. So over time, women have found a way to celebrate themselves, our achievements, even with our struggles. We try to celebrate each other. It could be cultural achievements, political achievement, workplace achievements, or socioeconomic achievements. So that's basically what International Women's Day is about. So now I'm just going to dive into my first question. Do you believe in gender equality? First, that's the first question I have. So let me hear from Idu. Yes, you already have your face.
I do not believe in gender equality. So I'm just going to give the simplest analogy. So you're working with a guy and you pass maybe two people. You know they're going to greet only the man, they will not greet you. Be it your husband, be it your brother, but even if you look older than the guy, if you're passing through a place and people come over there, they're not going to greet you. They're just going to ignore you. So experiences over my years have taught me that I'll be lying to myself if I thought men and women were equal, even in the workplace. I'll take an exception in the pension industry in Nigeria. I think this is the first time in my life that I've seen women have a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of female CEOs. At the time I was compliance officer, it was actually the norm to have a compliance officer be a female because they found out that females were better at managing such relationships. So, no to gender equality, but I've found a way around it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ola, can we hear from you? Do you believe in gender equality?
I do believe in gender equality. Anyway, let me first of all define what gender equality, what it means. What I believe gender equality refers to is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. And you can see as it is, what a man can do, a woman can do even more better. Like Idu explained when she was in compliance here in Stanbic. I remember that I was in compliance in Oak Pensions at that time also. I mean, almost all the people in the compliance that occupy that compliance space, we are all female. So what is it that a man can do that we cannot do? You understand? Especially, you can see that women from all spheres of life, ranging from finance, ranging from technology, politics, philanthropy, entertainment, and more. You can see women in all that space of life. You can see the Oprah Winfrey of America in media and entertainment doing very well. Our home Mohabudu doing very well. Kamala Harris. I mean, so what can a woman do? What can a man do now that a woman cannot do? So I really do believe in gender equality.
Thank you. I also do believe in that as well. Okay,
so let me tell you, they've changed that slogan though. The slogan she gave us about no, the one about what a man can do.
A woman can do better.
They switched it to why should a woman bother? Let the man do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Slogan.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question. Your head of investment, you do your CEO at Access Pension. So I want to know your first year in this role, but the first time they announced you, you're going to be the head of investment at sorry, I'm missing your company now. Head of investment
at Oak Pensions.
Yes, sorry, Oak Pensions, right. What was it like for you being a woman in that role? I don't know if it was a guy that was was occupying that role before you. But what did it feel like for you? Was it easy to ease into the role? Was it easy to lead people in that role as a woman?
Okay. Oh, okay. So thank you. Well, when I was informed and when I was called upon to come and assume the position of head of investment, like you rightly said, it was a man that was on that seat before me. So when the opportunity came, and they were like, I think Bola should fit into this and all that, and I was called upon. The first thing was like, me, head of investment. So I quickly looked around the industry to see how many head of investment that are female, so to say. So as at that time, I think there were just two. That was Bimbo Salami. She's now in ARM Pensions now, the head of investment, and Fumi at Crusader Sterling. So I was like, oh, so this space is not like the comfort zone where I'm coming from, that the compliance officers are all female. This is just it's really tasking one. But of course, I got to them, I called them, we spoke at length. I was like, what is it that they want to do that I will not be able to do? So what I did was I had to quickly understand what the role entails. And, you know, if you know your stuff very well, you'll be able to ease in no matter what. Of course, there'll be some back and forth, all this male chauvinistic idea. But I mean, I really, what I did was I had to know my stuff very well. Then I held my head so high, like I'm up to the task. And as time goes on, I was celebrating small wins, start with small achievable goals. Then when you dress the parts, you need to look healthy, you know. So it was easy. I eased in very well. And as it is, I've been there for the past 4 years or so. Wow. And I've been doing very well. Thank you.
Okay, can you tell us, what was it like to assume the role of the CEO at Access Pension?
So mine was actually a little different from hers. So this is the first time in the history of that business that a woman is in leadership. And when I assumed, it was right after the COVID lockdown that I got this job, June 2020. And guess what? Everybody in the ESCO was male. I was the only woman in the committee. So, wow. So you can imagine the challenge. And I told them that I know that most men don't respect women, but I have earned my respect. And that for your board to consider me fit for this job, well, you have to comply, considering my compliance stuff, or you find yourself out of the place. If you're not gonna, I'm not gonna be. I don't do babysitting. That's actually what I let everybody know. And I've changed the dynamics of the business. The ones that couldn't cope, they found their way out. I've balanced out the ESCO now. We have 3 women in the leadership of the business now. And I think things that we're on the right track. So, but sometimes, even when I call people on the phone, they know I'm a woman, they still say, sir. And it really gets upset.
They expect a man to be a narrow.
I don't know why they do that. So, and my name does not give away if I'm a woman or a man. So it doesn't help. So they assume it's a man there, and they'll always say sir first. And I'll say, do I sound like a man? And they'll now say, sorry, man. And next thing they'll still say sir. But it's a world we live in and we're getting
Yeah. Okay.